So, bitch, it turns out Onision can make like 30 videos in a day, so why can't I, bitch, huh? Why can't I, bitch? Okay, so first of all, this is my cat named Nova. She is such a cutesy wootsy, oodalooty, and she's sitting right here, and she's cute. So basically, I just realized my channel has no context. So I wanted to show y'all a little bit about myself, because that shit's confusing as fuck, and y'all don't know shit about me, not even my name. So here I am today. I'm gonna go over there, get some lighting on, say goodbye to my cat. Say goodbye. Sorry, she learning how to talk, guys. Okay, bitch. So first and foremost, we finna sit here and we finna talk about my name. This is kind of a weird angle. Hold up. I fuck with that a better. So I was born into this beautiful world as Myra Anita Reynoso. It's not on the screen, so I don't know why. I don't know why I acted like I was finna edit it there, but I'm not, bitch. But that's not my name. So, I got adopted, and when I got adopted, she didn't want me to know anything about my past life. So my name got changed from Myra Anita Sanchez to Anita Reynoso. That's right, bitch. Guess what? I don't have no fucking middle name. Not even one. Not even a little, slight little shit. And you know how difficult that makes literally every part of my life? Every time I go anywhere, bitch, they're like, I need your middle name. I'm like, bitch, I don't have a middle name. They're like, bitch, I need your middle name. I'm like, girl, look at my ID. It's just Anita and Reynoso. Okay? Okay. So, and this something you for sure don't know. My adopted mother, her name is Anita Reynoso. Period, point blank. Her middle name is Louise. Anita Louise Reynoso. At least her ass got a middle name. My ass does not have a middle name. So I am a junior, and she is senior. I'm Anita Junior. Clearly, when I found out, not even when I found out, growing up, I always tried to live up to my mother's name and try to be this perfect symbol of a human being. I don't know why I did the gem symbol from Steven Universe. Who knows, really? And girl, it just was not working out for me. And my brother, one time when I was 9 years old, he looked at me and he said, you know, you look like an Allison. So when I was in high school, I changed my name from Anita to Allison. And all of my friends call me Allison till this day. I know it's a weird story. I was 13 when I changed my name, but it was the first time I actually felt like my name was my name, and it wasn't just something somebody kind of handed down to me and just, fuck it. So it was actually my name. And I know you're probably wondering why I don't go by Myra, which is my birth name, and I think it's a beautiful name. But my whole life I was told that it was an awful, horrible name, and I was named after a drug addict, and if I took that name, I would be a drug addict too, I guess. So, when I was in school, funny little fact about school, I dropped out when I was 16, went back to school when I was 18, graduated when I was 20. So, when I went back to school, I got a lot of variations. Some people would call me Allie, because Allie and Allison are pretty similar, and Alice is a name that got derived by that. So some people call me Alice, some people call me Allison, and the biggest name people usually call me is Cookie. It's my nickname, my whole family calls me Cookie, and I think it's pretty enduring, okay? So those are my little names, right there. No more questions about it, alright? Cool. I already covered the school bullshit. I'm 21 years old, 21 years young. I live in Colorado. Not gonna give you an exact location, obviously, because I'm terrified of people knowing who I am and where I live, so that's where we're at. I am Hispanic, believe it or not. I know I look white as shit, but I was really trying to. That's why I dyed my hair this color, because I get racially profiled by the police. My hair is naturally a very brown color. Obviously, from my grown-ass roots, I'm sure you could see that. Yeah. So these are my adopted parents. I feel like I'm at show and tell right now. Super proud of this. So these are my adopted parents right here. This is my dad, otherwise known as my grandfather. His name is Jose Reynoso, and he is from Michoacan, Mexico City. And he came to America illegally when he was a very young age. And he came to this country only speaking Spanish, and all during growing up, he had a very thick accent, knew very little English, didn't know how to read and write. That's kind of a little bit about his backstory. He has 9 sisters and brothers, and literally grew up like on a farm where like they had one doctor who would come and visit their town once a year. Crazy, I know. And this is my mom, Anita. I mentioned her a bit earlier. She was born and raised here, but her mom and dad were actually immigrants from Mexico as well. She is the first of her generation to live in America, and she met my dad. They both are fluent Spanish speakers. It is the main language they speak. So you may be asking, how did someone like me end up with parents like this? So, when I was growing up, I had a lisp. And so, little fact about my mom or my grandma, she is deaf in her right ear. She had a mishap when she was a little girl. I don't want to be telling her whole life story. It was traumatic. But she doesn't hear out of this ear. So when I was little and growing up, I would speak to her and she would shoo me off to my dad. As I've spoke about before, he had a very thick Mexican accent. So with a girl with a lisp, having speech issues, having someone with a very thick Mexican accent teach you how to talk, and I was at the time learning English and Spanish hand in hand, it didn't very do well with my language skills. So instead of me being bilingual, nobody could understand either language I was trying to say. So in school, they decided to have my family stop teaching me Spanish and only focus on English so that they could teach me English in schools and I would achieve more. So that is why I don't speak Spanish. No one else in my family does speak Spanish. They know words here and there. However, I know more than most of my family because we go to Mexico very often. Most of my family is in Mexico City, Michoacan, and we go almost every year. So growing up, I've had to learn all these people speaking Spanish around me so I can understand I can understand a lot of what is being said to me and I can respond back to it. There's simple phrases that I know how to say here and there. If I'm watching a Mexican soap opera, I can understand everything that's happening, who's talking to who, what is being said, and I can kind of translate. But my issue is pronunciation of the words. I cannot recite Spanish because I can barely speak English as it is. Growing up with Spanish-speaking parents was very difficult for me. I had to have translators my whole life in school, and it was difficult. I would have to go to the stores with my parents because they couldn't really understand what was happening, and it was very difficult. But my Spanish part of me is such a big part of me, and I love it so much. My family is the most Mexican family you can really look at. We have such a big family. We cook Mexican food. We go to Mexican. I've been to more quinceañeras in my life than I even know what to do with. So it is really offensive to me when people just say that I'm a white girl or don't believe it, especially when my dad literally wasn't a citizen up until this year. And it was something that we had to really, really struggle through, especially considering Trump is our president now. And I almost had to stop going to high school and we had to move almost had to move back to Mexico because I didn't want to renew his green card. and it's something I've struggled with my whole life. Every time I get arrested, the cops are super nice and happy with me, and then they look at my last name, and then I've literally had people call me a Mexican jumping bean, lazy, criminal, all kinds of horrible things just because my last name is Reynoso, and it's crazy. Another note, this is my cat named Whopper, who is gonna claw the fuck out of me. Oh my god! A very brief time before she claws the fuck out of me. But this is Whopper. Another part about me is I love punk rock music or anything edgy that you can think of. My whole life, I've been super involved in the punk rock community, and I always just wanted to be a cool skater chick. I thought that was the definition of cool, was black clothes and piercings and anything edgy you could think of. I'm all about that kind of stuff, and I love it so much. I go to concerts often. I recently went to go see Grayscale in February. It was so cool and amazing, and I thrive at concerts. They're my favorite place to be. Comment some bands you like, whatever they are. I don't even care if you like Taylor Swift, because I probably like Taylor Swift too. I was a vegetarian for 6 years of my life, and I started when I was 13 years old, and I'm not anymore. But one day, hopefully, I can be a vegan when I'm more financially stable, because for 6 years of my life, I lived off cheesy potatoes and ramen, and I couldn't quite really think too well in my brain. My favorite color is this one. It's called Aquarius. I got it from Hot Topic. Kind of looks like Tana Mojo's perfume. And I am an Aquarius. So I was born on February the 3rd, 1999. Yeah. My whole life people tell me that I'm spacey and that I say really crazy things and off-the-wall things. And so that's me. I really love the universe and Steven Universe. I love Steven Universe. I love conspiracy theories and anything that makes you think. I'm a Buddhist. I'm a universal Buddhist. So yeah. I like to thank any piece of meat that I eat before I eat it for its life force, before I eat it, and say that I'll use its energy for good, and then I'm sorry that the animal and life had to be lost. I've had a lot of really bad friends in my life. I like flowers, even though it makes me really sad when they die. And death really scares me, the idea of it. But life really excites me, even though I feel like I probably should have been a blade of grass and not, capable of handling something so big as a human heart. I'm super emotional and sensitive, and I cry at every commercial that I see that's, sad or happy or has anything to do with family. I'm almost always crying. This is my hula hoop, and I love it so much, and it's such a big part of who I am. I practice flow art, and it's guided me into being the human that I am, and I love it so much. I love Adventure Time and Steven Universe. I already said that one. I like Stranger Things and The Office. I like every Studio Ghibli film ever made, including Grave of Fireflies. I think that's my favorite one, and if you haven't seen it, you should see it because it's so cool and really sad, and I love sad things. I love sad things, and that's not a bad thing. Sad is just another emotion that we feel, and it's not negative, okay? Being a sad person doesn't mean I'm a negative person. It just means I like that emotion, okay? I've dealt with acne my whole life, and it hasn't gotten better. It's kind of only gotten worse. I'm really short. I'm only 4'11", which is crazy, because in some countries, you have to be 5 foot to even get out of a car seat. I have my driver's license, and I can drive a car, even though none of my family lets me drive a car, because who would really let me behind a wheel anyway, right? I love blue. Dark blue. Any blue, but dark blue is really cool. My favorite hobbies include laying in the grass on a summer's day and looking up at the sky and wondering what life means. I like the idea of smoking cigarettes, and I think it makes people look cool, but I don't like to smoke cigarettes anymore because I'm actually really terrified of cancer or lung cancer or any kind of cancer, so I actually stopped smoking cigarettes about a year ago, and I haven't picked one up since, and I really don't want to ever again, but they were a big part of who I was for a while. I've dabbled in drugs, marijuana, psychedelics. I really like psychedelics. I know that's probably something I shouldn't put on YouTube, but I don't care because I'm a real person. And this real person likes psychedelics. I have depression and anxiety and derealization and depersonalization. I've lost a lot of people really young in my life, and I still miss them every day, and I still think about them every day, and it makes me kind of a sad person. I love children so much. They make me really happy, and they make me have hope in the universe, even though I don't really want to have kids, and I might not actually be able to have kids. It's a nail polish I have on my nose right now. I was almost married when I was 17 years old. My cat's playing with the big wad of hair that I took out of my hairbrush. Should I let her? I feel like she's gonna claw my hand off. If I try to go down there and get it. Okay, my neck is a little scratched, but it's okay because I got the hair. I love my friends so much, and I would really do anything for my friends or anybody that I really love. And they mean everything in the world to me, and they're so cool and awesome, and I love the fact that I have friends. I play Dungeons and Dragons every week. My relationship with food is a difficult one. I've struggled with eating disorders my whole life, but I really do like food, but I don't like eating food. And most of the time when I eat food, it makes me feel pretty sick afterwards. I was in an abusive relationship when I was between the ages of 17 and 19. I really like matte lipstick because you can drink stuff and not get a stain on the straw. I like fire so much that I burnt my house down one time, and I almost burned my house down a whole nother time. I love sunsets and sunrises and the feel of the wind on my face. I love the sun on my face. The ocean scares me, but I like the sound of the water. I love the sound of rain on windowsills. I love it when it rains. I love being alive. I've had multiple suicide attempts and multiple scars to show my crappy teenage life, then adolescent life, and adulthood. I love sunglasses, and I have more of them than I know what to do with. My first job was as a knife salesman, and my last job was as a hired party actress. In case you're wondering what that means, I would get paid to be Disney characters and go to movie theater premieres and other things. I like men's deodorant because I don't think girl deodorant really does anything. I love Zelda and Mario Kart in any Mario game, really. I've recently started playing Overwatch and Apex, and I'm not really that great at games, but I like playing them. I have one tattoo on my foot, and I don't sell feet pics. That's kind of all the facts that I can think of right now that are important, and a lot of them weren't. And I'm sorry if I mentioned something really traumatic that you probably wanted a warning for. I should have put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video, but that's me. I'm Allison. I'm 21 years old. Call me whichever the names you want. Kind of prefer you not to call me Myra. Kind of prefer you not to call me Anita. But Allison is fine. Alice is fine. Allie is fine. Stupid is fine. And I hope you learned a little bit more about me, and maybe you want to get to know me and be a part of this channel. That is my life. But thank you so much for watching this video, and have a good day.